This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the voting booth at the Dunedin City Council is a hive of activity as the staff process last-minute voting papers. A group of top chefs are set to do battle as part of next month's Home and Living show at Forsyth Bar Stadium. And two shearers received a gala welcome in Geraldine after winning big at the World Shearing Championships. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Daryl Baser. The voting booth at the Dunedin City Council is a hive of activity as staff rush to process last-minute voting papers. More than 10,000 forms have been processed since Monday, and the Council is expecting the rush to continue until voting closes at noon on Saturday.
Get your vote in or miss out. That simple message from those in charge of local body elections in Dunedin.
Would just encourage people to exercise their democratic right and make sure they do vote. So we're open until 5 o'clock each of the next 2 days and then until noon here on Saturday, so I would encourage people to get their votes in.
There was a steady stream coming to Dunedin Civic Centre to cast their votes this afternoon. City Council General Manager City Services Sandy Graham says taking your vote to the council or a polling station is the safest way to make your vote count.
Postal votes don't close until the noon on the 12th, but if you post them now, they may not reach the destination in time. So we're suggesting to people that if you haven't already posted them, the best thing to do to ensure your vote counts is to hand deliver them to the Civic Centre.
The voting period closes at noon this coming Saturday, and Graham says her team will be out on Saturday morning to encourage people to cast their vote.
This year, as we did last time, we will have staff in the octagon in front of the Civic Centre with voting boxes just like this, where we will be collecting their votes curbside. We got 2,500 votes in 3.5 hours doing this last time.
Graham says the number of people who have voted is tracking towards 43%, which is on par with previous years. These locals were amongst those casting their votes at the Council Civic Centre this afternoon and felt it was their responsibility to vote.
I think it's my duty. It's a democratic country. It's a great town. I like living here and I want to see the best for it.
I've chosen to vote because I always do. I think it's really important to have your say and have a really good read through everyone's bios and work out who is going to be the best person for the job, for what you think is the best direction for the city.
I guess I'm reasonably engaged with the politics in Dunedin, and so I had a fair idea of some of the candidates that I really wanted to vote for and some I really wanted to put at the bottom of the list.
Dunedin's votes are set to be flown up to Christchurch at 1 p.m. on Saturday to be added to ballot boxes already there. Graham says there should be a provisional result on Saturday night. In Dunedin, The South Today.
A motorist found themselves wedged against a tree in Dunedin's town belt this morning after crashing off the road. Police were called to the crash at 9 a.m. after a car left the road and ended up in the town belt between Queen's Drive and Newington Avenue. One occupant was assessed at the scene, but their injuries were not serious, and another occupant was uninjured. A group of top chefs are set to do battle as part of next month's Home and Living show at Forsyth Bar Stadium. The trio work at restaurants like Moeti, Emerson's, the Prohibition Group and Glenfelloch Gardens. But this year there's set to be a wild card to keep them on their toes. Sharpening their skills ahead of the Farm to Fork competition next month. Glenfelloch Gardens executive chef and 2018 challenge winner Hans Barretter is set to defend his title against a host of other top southern chefs. And he's relishing the chance to compete again.
It feels good, yeah, happy to do it again.
What do you think edged you over and got you the win last year?
Taking it not too serious, just going in pretty relaxed and kind of enjoy working with the apprentice from Polytech, and just pretty much just doing what I love, and just playing it simple.
He's due to be up against Vault 21 and Prohibition Group executive chef Greg Piner, Moiety owner and chef Sam Gasson, Emerson's head chef Andy Aitken, Pablo Takini from Kitchena in Oamaru, and a wildcard home cook. It's the wildcard which is intriguing some of the Dunedin chefs.
It will be interesting. A lot of home cooks, they work differently, and they see things differently, so that might be a big advantage for them.
I think it's great. I really do. I think there's probably some very serious, very good home cooks out there that would give any chef a run for his money.
Oh, the wild card could be a curveball, because there's some actually really good home cooks around. So yeah, Sam was saying before, it could. Yeah, we just need to be on our game. So it puts the pressure on us again as well. So no, it's good.
3 of the Dunedin-based chefs spoken with recently say there'll be a degree of good-natured banter while they're all on stage. The challenge is set to be held on November the 3rd as part of the 2019 Home and Living Show at Forsyth Bath Stadium. In Dunedin, the South Today. The owner of land burned in a scrub fire near Wanaka on Monday night suspects it could have been caused by a Freedom camper. Glendhu Station owner John McRae says it appears the fire began near a popular Freedom camping area at the start of Diamond Lake Track on Mount Aspiring Road. Fire and Emergency New Zealand say they can't confirm the cause. However, the first report suggests the fire originated in an older logging slash pile which may have reignited. Police were at the scene yesterday but declined to comment. Glendhu Station lost 100 hectares of feed they were saving as a drought buffer for cattle in a dry season. There are several Department of Conservation signs prohibiting camping and fires within a short distance of the fire. There was a gala welcome in Geraldine for 2 local shearers who won individual and team titles for blade shearing at the recent World Championships. Alan Oldfield of Geraldine and teammate Tony Dobbs of Fairlie are the first non-South Africans to win blade shearing championships since 1994.
Shearing champ Alan Oldfield demonstrating the fine art of blade shearing to an appreciative audience in Geraldine on Sunday. Oldfield and teammate Tony Dobbs received a gala welcome in recognition of team and individual titles they won at Le Dorat in France earlier this year. Oldfield says they faced sweltering conditions during their time competing at the World Blade Shearing Champs.
We had some pretty tough conditions. It was 38 degrees one day, I think, when we were over there, and the sheep weren't ideal, but we persevered through. And
he says the South Africans were the ones to beat, having taken away every win since 1994.
They've won every year up until this year, in both the individual and the teams. So it was pretty incredible for me and Tony to take both the teams and the individual title. For the first time that someone from outside of South Africa for, what's that, 25 years.
Tony Dobbs, who won a world title 31 years ago, says he appreciated having a younger teammate to keep up the pace.
As far as the championships are concerned, I think it's having someone young in the pen beside you just keeps you driving you along, and someone like that with the enthusiasm and vigour just keeps you on your edge and makes you put that extra bit of effort in, because when it gets down to an event like that, you can't just give 100%, it's got to be more than that, otherwise you ain't going to come away with the result you'd like.
The next World Championships are to be held in 2 years' time in Scotland, and Oldfield is keen to travel over and defend his individual title. In Geraldine, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today, a South Canterbury woman is asking for help to rescue people escaping a religious organisation, and we begin a series of interviews with Stephen Woodhead about his time at the Otago Regional Council.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
No mai no, welcome back. A string of weather watches have been issued for many areas across Otago and Southland. The Met Service predicts close to 100 millimetres of rain could fall on coastal Otago, including Dunedin, over the next 48 hours. The Met Service says a complex low pressure system is forecast to bring large amounts of rain to much of the South Island. Rain is expected to be quite heavy at times in coastal areas from Moeraki to Slope Point between 4 p.m. tomorrow and 8 a.m. on Friday. A charitable trust which helps resettle people who leave the isolated Christian group Gloriavale has been given a funding boost. The Community Trust of Mid and South Canterbury recently awarded a $10,000 grant to the Gloriavale Leavers Support Trust.
Enjoying the view from her lifestyle block in Timaru, Liz Gregory says her church has been helping families leaving Gloriavale for 6 years and has gone on to establish the charitable Gloriavale Leavers Trust earlier this year. The trust recently received a $10,000 operating grant from the Community Trust of Mid and South Canterbury.
It will be directly to families, so there are often a lot of costs associated with resettling a family, and a lot of things get donated, but we actually need money, and it comes down to things like getting all the birth certificates purchased so they can get identifications, driver's licence, could be healthcare needs, school setup costs, could be going towards the purchase of a van, a vehicle that's big enough for their family, just the sorts of items that we don't normally get donated to a family when they leave.
Gregory says Canterbury has seen quite an influx of people who have left the isolated Christian group over the past 6 years, and the Trust is in a good position to help them.
Look, there have been 130 come out in the last 6 years. More than half of those have settled here in South Canterbury, and a large proportion of them, if they haven't settled here, they've certainly come through the region visiting family. There's been some support. Obviously the trust has only just been launched in an official capacity, and so we're now just able to start distributing some of those funds in a more official way, but we look forward to working with anyone and everyone who chooses to leave Gloriavale.
She says it's quite an overwhelming experience for the families when they first leave.
We like to offer really intense support for the first few weeks. We have a baseline that our trust would like to see, that families within a few weeks have got clothing, vehicle big enough to carry them all, house filled with furniture, all their identifications sorted, a job for dad, kids in school. That's sort of a baseline 3 to 5 week project depending on the size of the family. About 5 weeks for a family with 9 or 10 children.
In addition to their recent $10,000 funding boost, the registered charity also has a Give a Little page with a current target of $100,000. Gregory says if they find enough money, she's hoping the trust will pay her for 32 hours a week to help run their program.
Initially the trust was supporting me for 3 days a week. We've already got an agreement to increase that to 4 days a week if we can find the funding.
In Timaru, the South Today.
After 9 years as chairman of the Otago Regional Council, Stephen Woodhead is passing the baton. In this series of interviews, he discusses the challenges for the council around protecting the region's environment. Woodhead says the success of Port Otago is a positive for the region's residents, and there will be little benefit from the council selling it.
I've had people from all over the region, including Port Chalmers, including staff of Port Otago, and right through to the farmers, and who are adamant and very firmly expressing the view that you should never sell Port Otago. On any metric you look at, Port Otago has been highly successful, and we are very lucky in the southern South Island to have a safe, deep water port that is 10 days away from, when you load a container, we're the last port of call, 10 days away from the world markets in Asia. And our exporters value it highly, and as I say, it's been very well run and well managed for a long time. And people, when they look at Port Otago, forget, for example, that we pull containers out of Canterbury. There's weekly train service, in fact it's more than weekly I think, and 30% of our freight comes out of Southland. So the southern South Island, where there's still around 30% of New Zealand's sheep population, and a strong dairy and forestry sector, are huge exporters, and our economy relies on it. We've got a great, and I mentioned the diversity in Otago, we've got a fantastic diversification in our economy between a city with a bit of manufacturing and a strong government sector and university, through to the highly productive rural hinterland, and which now includes a bit of viticulture and horticulture, and a strong tourism. So when you mix it up with the landscapes yeah, it's a fantastic mix, and we benefit from the strong, productive regions, both sides of us, that also utilise our port.
And you can see more of the interview with Stephen Woodhead online at odt.co.nz. After the break on the South Today, we will look at the weather for you and recap the top stories. See you after the break.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Every reason, every every season. We're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489-2274. If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Miller's Flat Bakery, proudly opening this Labour weekend after a long labour of love. The Restoration Trust has brought back to life this historic part of the main Central Otago transport route. Come see the only wood-fired bakery oven in New Zealand. Turn off at the Miller's Flat Blue Bridge and bring the whole family to enjoy some tasty fresh baked goods the old-fashioned way, before electricity. That's the Miller's Flat Bakery opening Labour weekend.
Thanks for staying with us. Children showed no fear as they swung from a trapeze and climbed up on silks as part of a holiday program in Alexandra last week. Held at Molyneux Stadium, the program was hosted by Arrowtown Kids circus tutor Abigail Rose. She says some of the children came to the holiday workshop after seeing the circus perform at the Blossom Festival. Rose has trained in multiple circus disciplines and shares her talents around the world, which includes giving workshops in Australia and South Africa. She's currently looking for a new base for her Arrowtown Kids circus because she has to move out of the building that she's been using. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The voting booth at the Dunedin City Council is a hive of activity as staff process last-minute voting papers before voting closes on Saturday. A group of top chefs, along with a wildcard entrant, are set to do battle as part of next month's Home and Living show at Forsyth Bar Stadium. And two shearers received a gala welcome in Geraldine after winning big at the World Shearing Champs recently. Time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome the editor, Mr. Barry Stewart.
Hi Daryl. A new independent surgical hospital is expected to open in Ladies Mile in Queenstown in about 2 years, and that news of that was of course welcomed in the resort today. A push for the Dunedin City Council to take control of the city's public bus system has cleared the first hurdle. And some George Street business and building owners are creating a group to protest urban design plans for Dunedin's main street. Efforts to improve the roading are being urged by Central Otago district councillors as regional highways are taking a pounding.
Yikes.
And that and lots more.
And lots more. Thank you for that, Barry. Appreciate your time. Cheers. Time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, Forsyth Bar Stadium and its reflection in the water of Leith. Looking at the situation, more rain ahead tomorrow and Friday as a low pressure system slowly decays over southern districts. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect grey skies and rain with 16 degrees. Heading over to the northeast, where Nelson and Blenheim are also due for cloudy skies, rain and 16 degrees. Moving down to Canterbury, expect cloudy skies at times across this area, with showers or rain for most. Kaikoura should reach 18, Christchurch and Ashburton head for 17 degrees. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, you can all expect moderate easterlies and rain. The Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all due to reach 10 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes region, you can plan for moderate northerlies and rain. Wanaka aims for 12, Queenstown and Alexandra you're heading for 11, and Te Anau you're set for 10 degrees. Up to the northern towns, Timaru and Oamaru can look forward to variable winds and cloudy skies. Timaru 14, and there's some rain in the clouds over Oamaru with your 11 degrees. It should also be wet inland as well, with Twizel and Omarama looking at moderate northerlies and rain, both receiving 13 degrees. In Dunedin, rain clearing for a time tonight with light winds and an overnight low of 9 degrees. Expect rain for most of the day tomorrow, except for a brief dry spell around the middle of the day. Plan for a high of 8 and a low of 10. Heavier rain could fall on Friday, with cold southerlies looking at a high of 9 and a low of 7. And in Invercargill, rain tonight with southeasterlies and an overnight low of 8. Cloudy tomorrow with some outbreaks of rain, a high of 10 and a low of 8. Plan for more periods of rain on Friday with moderate southeasterlies, a high of 9 and a low of 7. And that's all from the South Today team for this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Have a great evening. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.